Welcome back to the Wallerdog Gaming channel. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, part 2 of capturing, and this time I wanted to understand and really learn how to read a ladder. It's really important if you want to play well. This is a really important concept. So as you can see here, let's start from here. If it's white's turn, is it better for white to play and go for, oh actually you know what, let's make this a little bit better here. Let's make this a little bit better. Something like that. Okay, so is it better for white to play and work on making a moyo over here and force black to extend out like this? Is it better to do this? Or can white simply capture the black stone? And that is the important question for today. In this case, the ladder is good for white because these black stones will run into the white wall down here. Now how can we see that? That's a good question. Need a bigger book. If we take this line, let's extend this out a little bit so you can get a little bit better idea of what we're looking at. Because as a ladder, it's going to make a ziggy-zaggy line. Until it reaches the other side. So the stone started here, and it's going to go all the way down to here, right? Now I'll fast forward this so you can actually see it. And black has nowhere to go. When black plays here, white kills, right? So this is no good for black. So white can just Atari black stone here. Black can't go anywhere. Not a problem. Now, that's the easy one. Now it would be the same if there was nothing here. Then black, of course, would go to the edge of the board and black would die. But what about the more difficult situations that we run into? Let's say we're playing 5-stone handicap game and you're black. Well, and you're white. 5-stone handicap game and you're white. So is this ladder favorable for black or not? What kind of a line do we have here? If we look at the black stone, looking at this diagonal line, you can see that this stone, let's go ahead and extend it out just a couple places here so you can get a better idea what I'm talking about here. You can see a pattern forming. Alright, you see the pattern? Diagonal line, and this is actually 2 diagonal lines. One in each stone here, right? So, this case, this white diagonal line runs right into this black stone. So what happens? Let's take a look. Uh-oh. Black connects. That means this ladder is favorable for black, And white's got all these places that black can now capture white stones. So this is no good for white. I want to go ahead and keep this here so we can get these, we can see these lines. Okay, so if a black stone is on the diagonal line where white is, it's unfavorable for white. That would also mean on the alternative then, that means if there's a black stone on this white line, we would end up with the same result, right? Let's take a look. Same result. But you're saying, well, what happens if we don't go that way then? We'll just push the other way, okay? Now white's got 3 liberties and you got cutting points, capture points all around, so it does not work. Right? So, what do we got so far? That means if there's a black stone on this line, favorable for black. On this line, let's get that book out here again. Alright? On this line, favorable for black. This line, favorable for black. So of course if a stone is here as well, that's also going to be favorable for black, right? Because that's going to be right in black's path. I've never really taken a close look at this before. I just kind of winged it. And I figured it's time to stop winging. Alright, so what happens now? I mean, if white plays here, black's got more liberties and white's got capture points all around. So there again, not favorable for white. Okay, so once again, if there's a black stone here, inside, and here, no good for white, right? Well, then you're going to say, well, what if the stone is one line outside? So we got here, right? We are now one line outside of that row. Favorable for black or not? Pause, think about it. Write that. Let me know what your answer is. Okay, we're back. Let's play it out and see what happens. Atari. The stone that's outside makes it is also a ladder breaker, which means it is not favorable for white. So if it's not favorable there, that means if there's a stone on this space as well, one line outside, let's look at this again, white's here, one line outside, same result. There again, a tidy. White connects. Black can actually do a double Atari. He can connect. He can do all sorts of things, right? So it doesn't work. Are there any questions on ladders and ladder breakers? This really makes it clear for me. It'll make it much easier for me in the future. I actually played against Alexander Dinnerstein today, and there was a case came up that I wasn't sure if his stone was a ladder breaker or not. It turned out it was. Thankfully for me, I did not play the ladder. But then he showed me a very interesting ladder that was played in a professional game some 20 years ago. I want to go ahead and show that to you now. Alrighty, pop quiz. This is from my game today when I was recording this video. It'd be yesterday if you watched the video when I published this. This is from my game with Alexander Dinnerstein 3P 5-stone handicap game. Black to play. The question is the ladder favorable for white or black based on what we just learned in this earlier part of this video? So my old method of trying to figure this out was to go E. What an inefficient, inaccurate way to see if a ladder works or not. Now, looking at the method we just developed today, of course we can't put a book on the board, but you can make a line. You can make a line So the stone is here. If we make a diagonal line from where his stone is, we know that one more over, so this is, so black is, so if black, you have to picture, okay, if black is going to try to capture, he's going to go here, and then if we take a diagonal line from there, oh, there's a white stone there, right? So yeah, we've got black stones here, but the problem is we're going to reach this white stone first, which means this ladder is favorable for white. Let's go ahead and play it out. And white has 2 liberties and Atari's black. This does not work for black. Therefore, in the game, I actually went ahead, whoops, in the game then I actually went ahead and played here. He extended. I played one more. He hunted. And if you want to see the result of this game, go ahead and watch the game on the YouTube channel. Alexander Dinerstein versus Wallerdog. Wallerdog on, that we played on the March 28th of 2020. Next up, it'll be the problem that he showed me on the board that happened between 2 professionals. There again, the question will be, is the ladder good or not? And I want you to let us know in the comments. Okay, here's the problem. Is this ladder favorable for white or for black? Take your time. I want you to pause the video and see if you can see what the result would be. Alright, now that you've put that in the comments, let's see what happens. This is from a real professional game. One of them misread it. Watch this. Atari. Connect. Atari. Connect. Atari. Extend. Atari. Extend. Oops, wrong one. Black's turn. Favorable for black. Look at that. This would be an advanced problem, but it goes to show you can't just look at it. You've got to look at it and work it in your head all the way through, not just to that next stone. You know, I showed you the lines, right? Now, if we would have done the line thing on this, we would have failed, right? Make sure you check out Alexander Dinerstein. He does give lessons. He's at breakfast on KGS. He's an excellent teacher, and I think you'll enjoy his reviews and the games that he plays. And thanks if you like these videos. Appreciate it. Any questions on ladders, please let me know, and we'll see you on the next video.